Weather's nice again, I see. And welcome to another Just Flying episode where we'll continue our Highway 1 road trip. And only a short distance for this leg, so thought we could use one of the slower flying aircraft, the default Stinson. Yeah, we're doing from here at NZPP and going up to Otaki XNZOT. Wonder if we can take off in this short of a distance. The runway is 34 and the wind is 352 at 17 knots. So I think we might be okay, which saves us backtracking down the runway. We've only got a short distance, but bit wobbly. Okay, yeah, no problem at all. Very nice. Yeah, with plenty of runway to spare. I'm sure the headwind did help a lot with that. Although now it stops being our friend and we'll have wind blowing in our faces for the remainder of the journey, slowing us down. But if you don't know the geography, then Otaki, it's really not very far at all from here. So I'm sure this will be still be a relatively short video compared to the usual thing as I upload. Certainly not going to be a half-hour long epic or something like that. Yeah, they're tracking slowly over to the right to pick up Highway 1 again, and we'll follow that. And just off to the right of Highway 1 further up, looking for things to talk about, I noticed an accountant's place, which does remind me of an old story. This is 25-30 years ago. The company I worked for back then used an accountancy firm to look after our tax and things like that. And this accountant is just a small firm, it's only one guy. He also did jobs for other companies as well, and one of those companies started giving him more and more financial related stuff to deal with on their behalf, including paying wages for the employees into their bank accounts. So apparently this went on for a little while, and the accountant noticed that nobody was ever really checking what he was doing or keeping an eye on him. So he decided to invent 2 fake employees, start paying them wages from this company, and he was putting that money into his own pocket. And this went on for quite a while until one day somebody did do an audit of what he was doing, found these 2 fake people, and the end result was the accountant did I think it was about 18 months in prison for fraud. So yeah, companies do sometimes have dodgy accountants. Our company back then had an accountant who was so dodgy that he actually went to jail. Well, good fun. Anyway, over to our left, there's a locality called Peka Peka. And if you wanted to stop there for a night, there is a place called the Tasman Views. Well, views of the Tasman as long as you bring some binoculars. Alternatively, there is another bed and breakfast place called Near the Shore. Just not that near to the shore. So Peka Peka, famous for guest houses with, let's say, optimistic names. Then a little further up we'll come to the Pet Villa Cattery and Kennels, and if you click on them in Google Maps, they state they are LGBTQ plus friendly, and okay, that's great, but that does seem to be a bit of a weird thing to say about a cattery and kennels. You might discuss the availability of dates to take your pet there, or the price of things. But I can't imagine, is your dog gay being one of the questions that gets regularly asked at these kind of places. Yes, LGBTQ plus friendly, that just seems a very strange thing to advertise as a selling point for a place where you're simply going to dump Tiddles the cat for a few days. I don't know, just seems a bit bizarre. But then to the highlight of today's tour, a little further up here on the right, is the locality of Tehoro, where you can find the Wisdom of Meditation Centre. Apparently run by two people called Shikha and Mayank, both of whom appear to be white people, so they've probably changed their names to sound Asian, so it's more mysterious and wise. And in part of a review by somebody called Annette, who probably hasn't changed her name, she states that the Wisdom of Meditation Centre is a tiny piece of India in Arcus Road. A tiny piece of India. Do you mean that if you go there's an increased risk of contracting cholera, tuberculosis or malaria, and there's a few homeless children and a scraggy looking dog milling around outside begging for money? The children, not the dog, probably. No, I'm guessing it's not that, is it? It's probably just some sitar music on a loop in the background. Yeah, maybe a few pictures on the wall of some old bloke with a beard, or perhaps a Hindu god, a few of whom appear to have way too many arms. Although it would be quite useful being a Hindu god as a pilot, I suppose. Yeah, you could hold the yoke, the throttle, drink your coffee, tune a new comm frequency all at once, and still have plenty of arms to spare. But thinking this through properly, you would only want a Hindu god pilot in a warm country, wouldn't you? Yeah, somewhere cold. I can picture it's... Yeah, I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, the flight will be delayed by half an hour as our Hindu god pilot has decided to put all of his gloves on. Yeah, back to the Wisdom of Meditation Centre, and if I walked into a room and saw this, I'm fucking leaving immediately. But judging from the reviews, it seems quite a few people do enjoy that kind of bollocks. Then again, people listen to grifters like Deepak Chopra or Jordan Peterson and those kind of charlatans who are very skilled at stringing a few important and deep and meaningful sounding words into a sentence, but then if you start picking apart what they have actually said, which their followers never do, you find they haven't said anything useful at all. Well, not useful for anybody listening, but useful for them, I suppose, as they continue to make money from the gullible. Yeah, knowing how it works, I could probably make a decent living being a life coach guru, but unfortunately I have morals, and those two things are not compatible, so there you go. Plus I'd have to think about what to change my name to sound more guru-like, wouldn't I? Oh, I know. Bal Labag. Yeah, I'll Bal Labag. I'll take that as my new life coach name. Bal Labag. I think it suits me. Yeah, I'm good with that. Okay, so nearly here then, and time to land the wrong way. The reason is the northerly runway pointing into wind is a bit open and boring as an approach, so we'll circle and come in with a tailwind, as that just looks better. More to see and more aesthetically pleasing. We will have a tailwind then, but the runway's plenty long enough to deal with the extra ground speed from that, so shouldn't be a problem. And me landing a tail dragger with a massive tailwind, yeah, what could ever possibly go wrong there? I'm sure it's nothing to worry about at all, is it? Okay, just try and miss the trees. Oh, we're good. Get down. Are we down? I think we are down, aren't we? Right, what the hell just happened there? One of the smoothest landings I've ever made, and it's in a tail dragger. I genuinely had no idea when we changed from flying to being on the ground. I think I was continuing the flare after we touched down, as I wasn't sure that we had landed. I feel like I should go and crash into a tree now to make up for it. I'm confused. I don't do things like this in tail draggers. Even the rollout was fairly straight. Just no. Even Hindu god pilots wouldn't have done a better job than that. God, for God's sake, no. Let's just park. I'm gonna have to go and meditate on that one. With a cup of coffee, probably a biscuit as well. I think I need a biscuit after that. Holy crap! Yeah, I'll see you soon.